Hello everyone, my name is Umaima Zakir and today I'm excited to present our research on the future of industrial visits. This project was conducted with my amazing teammates Sarah, Murli and Jaideep as a part of our course Marketing Research in the Digital Age. We all know that traditional teaching methods often focus heavily on theory, leaving students feeling unprepared for the real world challenges. That's where our app Skill Drill comes in. So let's dive into how we're revolutionizing learning through industrial visits. Slide one is problem identification and research needs. Here's a question for you all. Why do so many students lack motivation and engagement in higher education? Through our research, we identified key reasons, which is one, a disconnect between theory and real world skills. Number two, lack of hands on learning experiences. Number three, over reliance on passive learning methods. And number four, minimal industry exposure for students. Our findings showed that students are far more engaged when they have like interactive real world learning experiences. That's exactly why we're focusing on industrial visits. Next slide is about the app idea. Introduction to Skill Drill. Now, let me introduce you to Skill Drill, a platform that connects students, universities, and industries to redefine education through hands-on learning. So how does it work? Students create a profile showcasing their skills, academic interests, and career goals. Companies list industrial visit opportunities, allowing students to gain first-hand experience. Universities track student participation and foster industry connections. For example, if you're a marketing student, you'll get a chance to visit a marketing agency, see how campaigns are built, and learn from industry professionals. Similarly, if you're an engineering student, you might visit a manufacturing plant to understand like the real world production process. But Skill Drill isn't just about booking visits. It's about creating like meaningful features. First up, the feature that we have is AI-powered matching, reward system, practical workshops, scheduling calendar, support team, review and feedback section. We have digital badges, LinkedIn recommendations, recognition system, which basically encourages students to download the app. We believe in insightful learning because education shouldn't just be textbooks, right? Next up, we have SMART objectives. To ensure Skill Drill delivers real impact, we set clear and measurable SMART objectives. First up, we have specific. We aim to launch an AI-driven matching system that connects students with companies based on their skills and academic interests. Second, measurable. Success will be measured through student engagement and the number of users unlocking premium features. Third, achievable. We plan to partner with at least 10 universities and 20 companies in the first year, creating a strong B2B network for industrial visits. Relevant. Our app aligns perfectly with our mission to enhance practical learning and help students gain hands-on industry experience. Timely. We implement a structured feedback system, ensuring that 90% of students and companies complete the pre and the post-visit evaluation, improving the overall experience within the first year of the launch. These objectives ensure Skill Drill isn't just about the app, it's a game changer in education. The next slide is the research methodology, phase one. In the methodology and our research, we conducted four things, which is the secondary data, the focus group, the in-depth interviews, and the surveys. So first of all, I will be talking about the secondary data and the focus groups. In the secondary data and the focus groups, we analyze existing studies on student motivation and experiential learning. We held focus groups with 9 Strathclyde students to understand their struggles with engagement. And the phase two was in-depth interviews and surveys, where we interviewed students one-to-one to assess how industrial visits impact career readiness. And then about the surveys, we conducted student surveys to evaluate interest in an industrial visit app. Over to Jaydeep.
Hello everyone. In presentation, I conduct critical analysis conducted through Pastel, SWOT, and Porter hypothesis frameworks. These tools help us to understand landscape of potential of our process applications. Let's begin with the Pastel analysis. These tools allows us an examination of micro-environmental factor affecting our incentives, firstly under the political aspect. We recognize that government involvement is crucial. Current tax policies very take implement implementations, trade policy, and political stability all played a vital role in our project's feasibilities. With fluctuating policies, we must be adaptable in approaches. Shifting to the next economic section, we see that app development and server maintenance are significant costs. We also need to consider the implementation rate, interest rate, and the potential of recessions. These economic indicators will influence our funding strategy and pricing models. Next, the social factors highlighting changing digital exposures, presence among students, culture barriers, and lifestyle differentiation also come into play, as a demographic trend could affect users' engagement in our applications. Moving to the technology factors, we need to assess a feasibility, tech literature among users, innovation level, and internet availabilities. The technological landscape is constantly evolving, and assuring our app remains relevant is essential to the success. In the legal domain, we must navigate various legal laws, including safety and environmental regulation, copywriting protection, and data privacy law. Compiling in this area is key to maintaining trust and credibility. Finally, the environmental aspects are increasingly significantly. We comfort unpredictable weather conditions and climate change. Our app must also consider sustainability practice in these industrial visits. Now we can next slide to SWOT analysis. This analysis provides insight our strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Starting with our strength, or app streamlined the process for student, university, and companies involved in industrial visits. The integration of the student and company matching system and digital reward system set our part of the traditional methods. However, we also face weaknesses, high maintenance and development costs alongside concerns about data privacy and regulatory compliance pose challenges we need to address protectively. As we explore opportunity, there's significant potential for expansion into new regions and industry. Additionally, forecasting partnership with educational institute and corporate sector could enhance our reach and impacts. Last is threats, including the competitive marketing landscape. There are numerous platforms that offer similar services, and traditional methods still hold sway. We must remain aware of the shifting preference among student and institute as well regulatory challenge that could be affect data protections. Finally, let's discuss Porter 5 Force. We help us understand the competitive dynamic in our industries. One of the most pressing concurrents in the threats of new entrants, which is moderate to high. To mitigate this threat, we plan to provide executive corporate partnership and logistical support that would be difficult for newcomers replicates. Buyer powers is notably high, driven by student expectation of seamless and engaging experience. Supplier powers is also moderate, and it varies based on the number of enrolled students and companies involved. Substitute also represent a significant threat as the university often organizes visit independently. And platform like LinkedIn provide an alternative. Our app unique is feature can create a value that may reduce likelihood substitutes. Finally, competitions remain from educational tech platform focus on industry experience and dedicated career portals. We need to ensure our product superior integration with university systems to stand out in these competitive fields. Next, I request to Sarah.
To gain deeper insights, we've conducted a focus group to explore students' perspectives on their education journey, covering motivation, engagement, and overall experience. Our participants were 9 Strathclyde students for marketing and digital marketing coursework, aged 22 to 28, including both local and international students. The group consisted of 7 males and 2 female, ensuring a mix of backgrounds and viewpoints. While the sample size was small, it was sufficient enough to identify key themes and patterns of our study. For our primary data, we use a mixed methods approach, including 3 in-depth interviews to gather deeper personal insights into students' perceptions of the app and its features. For the quantitative part, we've collected data from 55 respondents, and the questionnaire measured the importance and satisfaction levels of our app, along with general and demographic questions based on existing scales. So, our findings revealed that students highly value authentic features like digital rewards for recognition, partnerships with top companies, a strong feedback system, and seamless integration with platforms like LinkedIn or, for example, MyPlace. These elements were identified as crucial in making this digital solution truly impactful. For our quantitative data, the overall Cronbach's alpha was 0.902, indicating excellent internal reliability. Our person correlation analysis found a weak but significant relationship between employment status and how satisfied respondents would be with an app like this, indicating that employment status slightly influences perceived usefulness. And finally, the independent t-tests revealed a moderate positive correlation between the importance of badges and students' perception of their value. While not a strong correlation, this suggests that gamification elements like badges and rewards can play a role in motivating students. Now pass it over to Murli.
Yeah, finding and recommendations. First, we noticed that the app appeals was not tied to age, participate across age groups is didn't as associated with value or usability with how old they were. Instead, what really mattered were the futures, especially those that align with the goals and professional development. Now, when we looked deeper into the futures stood out, we found that participants didn't view the app as especially useful for industrial visits unless it offers valuable tools and content. They are more interesting in futures that added value, especially these content to learning, recognition, or career progression. Another interesting insights was around various work experience. Participating who are already had some experience in industry felt more confident using the app. They could relate its content to real world scenarios. This made the experience more meaningful for them. Moving on to the recognition and motivation futures, budgets for achievements were quite popular and positively received. However, participants were not as impressed by simple point or coin system. They felt this like tangible meaning or real world impact. And finally, the app has a potential and it's a definitely stays, but it needs to be adopted to better match real student needs. The student clearly shows that while features like industrial visits are at a top priority, the app's strength lies in work integrated learning. This includes tools that give student recognition like badging and certificates, which really add value to their experience. That said, we also saw that certain groups, especially younger students and those without any work experience, were not as engaged. So, to truly serve all users, the app needs a few smart adjustments. This could mean adding more collaborative tools like peer study groups, or mentorship features, and making the recognition system for more meaningful with tenable rewards. In short, the app works, but with thoughtful changes, it can go from being just useful to truly impactful for every student, regardless for the background or experience level. And finally,
The app stays.
Was adapted to
Real
real
students.
student needs.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.